Friends, welcome to day 3. Day 3, and guess what? We did it. We had no leaks last night. We had no leaks. All right, here's the real truth of this entire situation. I probably don't look my most beautiful right now because I was up at 4 a.m. worried about the baby stream. The guys worked so hard on it, and at some point, like, we know that they're just like amazing, but you just never know what's going to happen. So all that to say, we have the stream that is past inspection. Oh, and you can see the nice glow right here. We will do a chandelier reveal later in the day. And you guys, also, we did have one very experienced garden with a water feature that may not be going. They had to take it apart this morning and see if they could fix the leak, and I don't think they're going to have it unless they can run it for 24 hours. They can't show it. So this stuff just happens, and these are pros who are so experienced, so literally can happen to anyone. All right, let me update you on what's going on. I have told my entire crew, my planting helpers, all my beautiful people to push out arrival until 1 o'clock because I needed to just be in my zone this morning. When you do a show like this, there are so many people needing your attention. And at some point, you just have to kind of like decompress a little bit and think. And so I came in early. I grabbed another 100 plants because I'm a crazy woman. And I feel centered. There were a couple spots that I was not feeling settled about. And now I feel like we're ready to go. Let me just give you a tiny spin around and show you what I've been playing with today. So I'm feeling a lot better because guess what? You can see right back there and right over there, I've brought in some gorgeous texture. I started playing with the brown carex grass. I started playing with the juncus. I'm just feeling so much better about that. And then also I ran out and grabbed 30 more of this hellebore because as soon as I put it in the ground, look what happened. First of all, there's a little bit of red in the stem of my hydrangea. Over here, we have the Laura Petlum. This is plum gorgeous. Let me get out of the shadow there. And it just all of a sudden tied everything together. This is one of those bridge elements that I talk about in design. And so as it stands right now, I am feeling so good about where we are. And check this out. I even put a little bit of juncus in there. And also those 4-inch pieris, I'm using those everywhere. And they just create a beautiful, beautiful textural element. It's all about contrast, a little bit of floral. Okay, so here we are. Things are shaping up and I'm almost ready for everyone to arrive. And we are gonna go just heavy. We are gonna go hard in the paint. It is go time. Okay, friends, it is 1:40 and things are going really, really well. I have my planting crew here and they are starting on the waterfall area. I feel like actually we're in a really good position. I like the fact that we almost have all of the larger items in place and planted. And so what I've done purposefully is we went from like trees, shrubs, grasses and hellebore, so like the big 1-gallon items, and then we're working towards the 4-inch items and the little packs of daffodils. So I feel like this is we're in a good position. We still have quite a bit ready to go in the next couple hours. Okay guys, I'm just giggling. Lloyd, the show garden coordinator, he just walked behind me and he's like, the show is looking good this year. I mean, here's the deal. When Lloyd is excited about the show, you know it's going to be a good show because this man has done, oh my gosh, he's been participating in show gardens, I think since like 1989 or something crazy like that. So you guys get ready. The show is coming along. Okay, I'm going to spin you around and just give you a quick update of where I've placed things. So I do have to say, hellebore was an amazing move. This little area over here is going to be kind of like picnic blanket, basket. This is going to tell the story of that garden maker and what she's been up to, or he. We do need, I'm looking back in here, I need to soften the edges of the rock here. I want it to be a little bit more naturalistic, We still have at least 10 bags of moss with which I can do that. And I haven't even dug into my 4-inch material yet. So I think we're in a pretty good position. I need to get my gloves on. I need to get my fingers in the dirt, but I have to show you. Oh my gosh, I have to show you this view. You guys, I made you a photograph spot. Elias and I made you a little spot to have a photograph when you come and see me. Are you ready? Look at this area. I am obsessed.
Right? It looks so good.
Oh my gosh, Angela, you did so good. Okay, hello, little tiny rhodie, gorgeous pine, fringe flower, hellebore, these little nuggets. And then when you come see me and you come say hello, you get to sit on that little rock right there. Elias placed it just for you. And you've got the gorgeous greenhouse in the background. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is everything I wanted. This is everything we've been dreaming about. And now Elias and Brian are working on the uplighting because we want just a little bit of a glow on these trees. We just want a little bit of light coming through. And then my girlfriend Megan is inside with Maddie from Bloom and Easy. You guys, my friend Maddie from Bloom and Easy is here. She literally drove down from Canada to help me. I am blown away. I mean, I've said it once, I will say it about 10,000 other times. This garden was not created by me alone. It is by all of these beautiful, wonderful people in my life. And we're ready. It's almost showtime. Ah! Oh, that's like awesome. I'm planting a stream. This is way more sturdy than my shoes. I was gonna eat it. Oh my gosh, this is way better. Holy cow. I can just plant up a storm in here. Oh my God, look at all the dust. Well, hello, my people. Okay, today was so busy. I am so tired, but we have just finished all of the planting for the display garden. My voice is almost gone, and so I'm going to leave this super short, but the garden is looking really good. I think we're going to do a full tour, maybe tomorrow or the next day, but tomorrow morning we're going to be back here at 8 a.m. I'm hoping to get like 6 hours of sleep, so we're not going to release a video like I wanted to, but we need to prioritize a little bit of self-care so we don't burn out before the show begins. But I'll spin you around and I'll give you a little taste of the finished garden. Today was an insanely big day. We got all of the plants in the ground. They are all planted. The water feature is flowing seamlessly. I'll take you in the greenhouse in just a minute. These are the last remaining plants, which is crazy. You guys, we've planted thousands, and I do mean thousands of plants, but today it was all down to all the little details. All the moss covering all the rocks, making sure we had white flowers, good daffodil coverage. I was originally going to do like a little basket moment here, but this is where it's like Project Runway. The show director came over and he's like, hey, here are the things that I think the judges might pick on about this design. And it's great because it's like Tim Gunn, right, in Project Runway. He just wants the best for everybody. And he's so inherently proud of everything that we do. And so I listened to him and I made the last minute change. And I think it stood. I think it had legs. I think there was a lot of good reasoning to it. And I think what resulted was a just beautiful garden. But tomorrow, the focus is going to be cleaning. So do you see all these little dusty bits all over the stone? That will get cleaned up. We've already done 2 passes to make sure there are no buckets showing, because that's definitely something that you don't want to see. And then look at this adorable greenhouse. And I think I'm just gonna give you a little sneak peek. It's almost done. And this is one of the last things I did this evening with my friend Angela. We just tucked in a few little mossy bits. I'm gonna revisit it in the morning and see if it needs any editing. I want it to look naturalistic. And then this is our beautiful, beautiful greenhouse. We will have a full tour of the garden coming up later on the channel, but just every detail has been attended to, and I think it is quite spectacular. Before I head out of here, I'm going to spin you around and we're going to take a look at everyone else's build. There are just a few of us left on the floor buttoning up little things because tomorrow we only have 3 hours. Press comes through, and this is the day that I want to be rested and ready to talk to people. And it's just that last little 3 hours of fit and finish. Walking through at the end of the day, I mean, this is, you guys, this is the detail. All the little crevices have been filled with moss. Beautiful plantings, beautiful coverage. Great use of rock, actually. Look at that. Really interesting use of rock throughout this garden. And cool grates. I'm into these. I am into these. Here is West Seattle Nursery. Incredibly detailed. Little floating bowls. I mean, it's just like, it's so fantastic. They win, I feel like they win Best of Show every time they compete. Oh my gosh. I would love to one day win Best of Show. We will see. We will see. Honestly, I think the People's Choice Award would be one of the most meaningful. Lots of detail went into this garden today. I'll make sure to kind of dive in so you really get all the little details. Now, this one is a first-time exhibitor. Really, really sweet, a little moment here. I actually have to say, I like this moment that they've built. I'm into this. Really, really cool use of plank pavers. And they did something similar to what I did last year where basically I popped out a bunch of the pavers and put in ground cover. Really a sweet garden. Michael Orr, Method Hardscapes, working like a maniac. Man, they've come a long way today. This is Denise, Garden Girl. Still a lot of finishing touches, but she's getting really close. Really close. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first year that she has tackled this solo. And previously she did one with APLD, but it is a whole other ball of wax to do this by yourself. Check it out, BC Greenhouse. This is their specialty color coming in. It's so good. And then these are the Orchid folks. These guys have the most amazing collection of orchids. It's just so phenomenal. Coming over here, oh my gosh. I wish you could see this in real life. This is the Lace Swing Garden. And I was talking to Britt earlier. We were both just here completely in a coma from such a long day of work. But there's some beautiful stuff happening here. Oh, I am in love with these arches, you guys. Look at this. This is such a special garden, and they're doing so many interesting things. Beautiful color combinations. Look at that one. That little evergreen, this microbiota that turns brown in the winter. It's just one of my favorite evergreens. These panels that this textile artist did, these are sensational. This is my jam. Like muted, moody. Oh, love it. Love, 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 love. Holy cow. I cannot believe the progress in Zenji's garden. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, this fountain was not running this morning. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. What an achievement. What an achievement. Nature perfect. Had a little peekaboo. Oh, wow. So they added this entire front planter bed. And then look at this brownie eye moss. That is so cute. Oh. Oh my gosh, you guys. This water feature was not running last night. Or actually, this morning, this water feature was not running. And there was water all over the floor. And I think they had sprung a leak. But guess what? I think they got it back up and running. They found the leak. They patched it. I don't even know how they did this. Good for them. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is Ellendon Gardens over here. I have never once seen them use this many florals. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys, these folks usually are super minimal. Oh man, they still have so much to do. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I hope they've got lots of helping hands tomorrow. I don't know how they're going to do this in 3 hours. But you know, we all make it work. We always figure out a way to make it work. When you run your own business, you just got to be resourceful. Wow. Okay, I hope they pull this off. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is Susan Brown and Fancy Plants. This garden was unrecognizable this morning. Holy mackerel. This is so wild. What a transformation. I was talking to Susan and she said that they had 16 volunteers today. Good for them. Man, oh man. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Okay, we're gonna go around. That is just about as chipper as it comes down in there. Oh, lovely. Oh my gosh, the Rainier beer. Okay, this is, you guys, this is so good. The mushroom pillow. Get out of here. Oh, wow. Oh, I love these pots. I think these were at Potteryland. Yep, they are. Look at that finish. This is one of the ones that I picked out that I wanted to use for my client who needs 100 pots. You guys, that finish is so good. If this is not a happy ray of sunshine, I don't know what is. This is pure joy. Susan, by the way, does tons and tons of pottery. She is just so good. Look at this garden John did. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, he planted his little heart out today. This is just incredible. And this is a Versailles greenhouse. This is one of the Lamb's greenhouses. And I don't know if he has the fish yet. I feel okay coming in here because I have been invited before. Okay, no fish. They must be coming tomorrow. I'm gonna chat with him later and I will get the deets on these Corten planters because there were a lot of questions about how wonderful these were, where they came from, did he make them, all of the questions. So we will dive into that the next time I'm able to corner John and ask him some questions. Look at these. Look at these sweet little blue pots that are all over the place. Those are from Versailles Gardens in Portland. Relish Gardens. These folks worked so hard today. Apparently, Claire made this table, which is so insane. She's so crafty. And would you look at this? All of the canned goods floating through the landscape. It is just... This is so fun. And she has leaned very heavily into an edible landscape, like a literal edible landscape. All of the canned goods. Look at that Swiss chard. Lots of blueberries. Wow. Oh, cute. This is so playful. This is so chipper. And then Tony, you know, he went super tropical, and this garden is almost unrecognizable from when I saw it last night. So good. Oh, here it is. Do you remember this was covered yesterday? Oh, I love it. Oh, so joyful. Oh, and here's Adam's. Oh, wow. Okay, here we are. Do you remember? Do you remember when I was like, okay, we've got garden to the left, garden to the right. What is going on in the middle? A little putt-putt, a little putting green. Wow. Just incredible. Man, Adam does such a great job with all of his wood. He is so resourceful. Great use of stone. I feel like this is just a classic Adam garden. Oh, the door is open. Oh my gosh. Oh, if I could share this scent somehow across the internet, it is pure heaven. Okay, friends, that's it. I'm going to bed. I got to come back and clean tomorrow.
Okay, friends, we have 5 minutes until judging. I finally have Elias with me. I feel like we've been running 24/7 for the past 4 days. I almost have no voice, so I'm speaking softly, but how do you feel?
Tired. I feel tired, but everything was, yeah, I feel that we complete what we dreamed for. So I feel good. I feel great.
Yeah, I think the great thing about having such a good working relationship together is I feel like we trust each other to do our own best work, to be each other's geniuses. There's Lloyd. Okay, that's the subtle signal that Lloyd's going to kick us out.
I know.
Oh my gosh, you guys, full tour incoming, but I at least had to snag Elias for one final shot. Okay, judging in 5. What do you think? Do you think we got gold? I hope we get gold.
I think we got gold. We got the best.
I think we got gold. Okay, we will see.
Excited.
And I'm going to give you all one final look. They're about ready to turn the lights down and go to show lighting. And as soon as show lighting goes down, it's official. Judges coming in. We are just going to cross our fingers that they love it, that they understand it, that they feel the story and the magic that we are trying, that we really tried to create. I think we did it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you for being on the journey.
Attention, please. It is now time to leave the garden floor. Please leave the garden floor now.
Alrighty, we've just arrived. It is awards evening, and I've just been led into the showroom floor, and oh my gosh, they have our signs up with the award that we've won. So it's either a bronze, silver, or gold. And then we'll have a dinner after we've kind of like milled around and hung out, where they will award some specialty awards like fine gardening, the Founder's Cup, best use of stone, best color, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really fun. We all get together. It's a lovely dinner. And I am wearing fancy shoes, but I did bring my Blundstones because I haven't worn heels in probably, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Okay. So let's go check it out. It's moment of truth. Yes. We won gold. We won gold.
Well, we have completed our celebratory dinner. We've heard all of the awards, and I want to take a moment to give you a spin around the empty floor. Everyone is show ready, and you guys, the show this year is insane. It is so good. There's so many good gardens, and I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to leave a link below to my website. Every single plant that I've used is listed on the website. We are still updating, I think, the indoor plants, but every single outdoor plant is listed there, and I've included as many sources as I could find. In addition, there will be voting for the People's Choice Award. Okay, I've never won the People's Choice Award. this is an award that I don't know why, but it feels incredibly meaningful to me. And so if you are coming to the show or if you are at home, apparently this voting link could work whether you're at home or at the show. And I would love your vote. I would love your vote. It's just an award that is near and dear to my heart. I will leave a link to that below as soon as I get it. So as soon as it is published, I will pop it in the description below. So please check back. I'm going to take you on a spin around the floor one last time before the show opens because everything is looking so beautiful. Starting off strong, this is West Seattle Nursery, where stories take root. This one is detailed and inventoried to the nth degree. This is such an incredible show. I think West Seattle is notorious, and I do mean notorious, for their beautiful gardens, their use of texture, their use of color. They use a ton of found forage materials. And I was talking to Marsha, who owns West Seattle Nursery. We are going to be filming a little bit of content later in the year together. And she was telling me that they really wanted to stick to a very considered palette. Lots of greens, lots of pops of chartreuse, yellow, great conifer game, which actually, you know what we were also talking about? The fact that our gardens blended beautifully together. I think we have a very similar aesthetic, and their crew has worked so hard. I mean, just look at this little bookshop. It is staged magnificently. It is beautiful. And just the way everything is layered is so incredible. I mean, let's just come down here for a second. I don't know how long it must have taken them to source all of these books, but it is just a job well done. And as we come here, there's other details I love. I love the stairs coming up here. The use of natural materials was pure artistry. It is beautifully lit too. You know what I can see back there? It almost looks like they put a little uplight behind the chair so you see the slats. It is these details that make the show. And then if you can see that hanging light fixture, that is made from the pages of books. Again, beautiful artistry, lovely layering of materials. And then this right here with all the floating bowls, this is one of my favorite moments. Friends, this was a garden to behold. Next, we have BL Landscapes. I did a quick little interview with Brian. Really incredible walkthrough. This is his first time showing. And as we walked through, what you're going to see is he's designed a garden in 4 quadrants. And it's really fun because he has done a beautiful job of working with shape. So beautiful cylinders on this side, really great reflective moments, incredible texture. And then on this side over here, he has these beautiful white birches, which balances the black on the other side. And then moving over here to this Corten display, incredible backdrop that's almost mirroring the birches. The other thing that I really love about this is he worked with a very tailored palette. It is deep, it is moody, it is very heavily textured. He worked in a ton of natives. Just a spectacular showing for a first-time garden designer. I'm going to have Brian on the channel later where he's going to be able to go in depth a little bit more explaining his design process with this garden. But it was such a good conversation. And he's from Whidbey Island. You know I'm an island girl. I love my Northwest Island, so stay tuned for that one. Next is a Cascadia Reverie. You guys, this almost, I honestly, I know it's called Cascadia Reverie, but this is a miracle. I cannot believe that less than 24 hours ago, there was not a single plant in place. Not a one. Not a one. Just really great use of texture, really great use of stone. I will admit I had my doubts, and this was a nail biter to the very, very end. You know, one thing is he did attempt 3 water features. We do have one that is currently running, but this is life at the show. This is what happens, but really incredible texture. This one right here, it was running earlier in the day, but I do have a suspicion that there was a leak. You can see these hoses, these little openings right here. They were cascading water down this face. It was, for the moments that it was going, you guys, it was glorious. It was so cool. And I do think that Michael Orr, who is with Method Hardscapes, he really is known for these giant stone moments. That is a bit of a hallmark to what he does. Next up, we have the inward facing garden. This was the one that a lot of you commented on, where you had a very, very strong reaction, a strong pull into this spiral that's in the middle. In the center, we have this beautiful globe. And what's really interesting is she actually leaned very heavily into lighting this year. And it was a very interesting aspect to this garden. Now, as you are in this center spiral, you can kind of choose these different pathways, right? So you can walk through the garden here, kind of a cool maze. You can come down to this portion of the garden, which ends in this beautiful sculpture, or you can take a right here and you enter into a spiral. And I just think it is so magnificent. This right here was originally supposed to be a water feature. Again, incredibly difficult to do this in the convention center. So because she is a professional, she pivoted, she moved. Beautiful, beautiful showing. As we come out right here, you kind of end up almost back where you start again. Okay, and then we go around this way. Now, this is not the only light fixture. She also has beautiful light fixtures here flanking the entry, and you do feel like you are going through a tiny little bamboo forest. And this is the creation of Garden Girls. Next is Emerald City Orchids. This is Moonlit Garden of the Mountain Goddess. Emerald City Orchids, they do a big orchid showing every year. If you are an orchid fanatic, this one is for you. They have everything. I mean, these ones right here, my goodness, do you see the speckling on that? That petal is just, it is to die for. And I am loving all these little effects that they've got going on, the steam coming out. Now, these folks are not landscape designers. They are an orchid association, and just, they always do a tropical bonanza every single year. And it's just, it's so fun. And I do feel like orchids are one of those flowers that you really want to get up next to. Oh my goodness, look at this one right here. This one is very similar to one that I have in my display, and I chose it because I thought it looked just like a daffodil, which kind of is a fun nod to the fact that we are at a flower and garden festival known for its beautiful spring bulbs. Next, we have Essentially Elegant, the Cascade. This is Zenji Landscape Construction. And Zenji has worked so hard on this landscape. This is his second year showing, and the level of complexity and detail he has shown in terms of his growth is phenomenal. And I think that's the cool thing about doing these gardens for so many years in a row. You get to know the hallmark of each creator. You get to know their energy. And I think he created a landscape this year that feels truly interactive. I think this is one of his strongest features right here, this sweet little berm. He's created a lot of moments for seating throughout the garden. The multiple spillways here, a lot of height. And then changing up the hard surface right here and ending with some sweet little panels. Next, we have a perennial favorite, Nature Perfect, Gateway to Nature. Okay, I'm just gonna tip back here for a second, because one thing that I've seen this is like a pro Nature Perfect move, is they do these gardens that are almost walled off.
They want it to be this little peekaboo moment. This is, again, that like slightly, just kind of like we're sneaking in. We're getting a little peekaboo through these arborvitaes. And would you look at this vista? I think they were really intentional in doing this because it gives you such a childlike sense of viewing the garden, and it's so cute. I also think that Nature Perfect is very well known for their water features. This approach, I also really like this vista, this just big impact of purple. Love, 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 love. Great conifer game. Really, really sweet. Of course, they don't want us to enter because obviously this would be a disaster and a half. But you really get this sense that we are entering a little tiny mountain. This feels very alpine, doesn't it? Loving this whole thing. And I also think it's interesting. They went very blues, purples on the outside, but in here it's fresh, it's white, little tiny pops of pink. Great conifer game. Next, we have Pathways and Portals Cast from Nature. This is Ellendon Gardens. And, you know, again, really, really strong showing. I feel like they have a methodology. They are always showcasing massive boulders, beautiful bonsais. I mean, let's just take a look at some of them here. This specimen right here is an incredibly strong example of bonsai, bark, and absolute artistry. Now, this garden, they really hustled on. 24 hours ago, I did not see any of these planted. I do think this will not be a walk-through garden this year. I think they've got these portals here just for show only. I do think we're going to be asked to stay out of it, but that is okay because you still get a beautiful sense of this layered stone. I mean, this is a bananas amount of stone, but I do think that this is very evocative of exactly who Ellendon Gardens is. For the last 15 plus years, I have seen a strong showing and artistry of stone and stumpery. And as we come back here, you know what? I think this is the sneakiest portal of them all. Stop it. Okay, if I could choose a single moment to enjoy as an entrance, it would actually be this. I think this is almost the strongest moment. You know what's interesting is this actually might be a walkthrough. I'm not seeing any signs that say stay out. I'm actually seeing signage go all the way through here. Holy cannoli. Okay, I'm not going to get too far in because I haven't been able to speak with them to verify that this is indeed a walkthrough, but you just get a beautiful sense of the layering. Next up, we have Fancy Plants Gardens and Susan Brown Landscape Design. This is Choose Your Path. This garden is really meant to be enjoyed, or I think encountered first along this front side. We have this first pathway, just beautifully done, masterfully covered in moss. I do feel like moss makes its way through all of the gardens. And you know what's interesting is this garden actually features a whopping 3 water features, which I think is crazy. The Rainier beer cans still crack me up. I do feel like that this garden was pretty much complete yesterday. And in terms of this first garden, I personally think that this is one of the most yummy, delicious moments. I am obsessed with the staggering of these plants. I love the moodiness of the moss. I love the detail. I love the kinnikinnick coming up in here, the hellebore, just naturalistic, absolutely delightful. Starting down here on Pathway 2, this one gives such a beautiful, different energy. It's fresh, it's vibrant, it's limey. You guys, can we get a moment for that camellia there? Holy cow, that's a stunner. And I think this is where we see Susan's true colors come through because she is a bright, sunshiny, lovely woman. And look at this, just echoes sensationally throughout the landscape. From the other vantage point looking in, you guys, her container game is cray cray. She crazy. I love it.
I'm gonna ask Susan if I can get in here. I feel like I wanna do a best in show containers video because there are good containers here. There are really good ideas for every single one of you to take home. And just, this makes me so happy. It's crazy. Tons of Edgeworthia at the show this year. I feel like this was one of the darlings of the show. And it just is a joyful pop anywhere in the landscape. Pathway number 3 is meandering. It's lovely. It's a whole different vibe. First of all, down here we have our little steamy pond. Beautiful, kind of, this is giving a lot of like a Japanese garden energy. But what I think is really cool is she's using all of this wood to kind of like bisect the space. Really beautiful conifers coming in. And she's layering so many materials. We have natural rock. We have little tiny granite cobbles, beautiful wood, gorgeous crushed gravel, and really bright pops. So even though this is a very different energy, you can still tell this is them because they have brought in these just punchy little azaleas throughout the entire landscape. And also Japanese forest grass pushing already in February. A+ for forced plant material. Look at those cherries. Next, this is Homegrown Organics and Jay Zabo Collaborative Landscapes. 2 people I love and admire. This is Carex into the fuchsia. This entire thing, this is the perfect example of a designer and a collaboration effort dialing in the focus of exactly what they want to show people. I feel like John does a garden every year that highlights his little darling of the moment. And this year it is, well, last year was evergreen oaks. This year it is the Carex and also the fuchsia. I mean, first of all, look at this drapey bit of fuchsia achieved in February. He was also telling me this fuchsia right here is called Minnesota, and this is on loan from the Bellevue Botanical Gardens. You know, only they're going to lend something to John like this because they know it is going to be beautifully taken care of. Jen brought in these incredible urns to emphasize kind of this stately nature and contrast against the grasses. And then, of course, we have a phenomenal indoor plantscape, and I'm loving just everything in here. I love the selection of colors that have been used for the containers. It feels all at once accidental and intentional. A few of the stunners, though, I actually really think his choice in lighting elevates the space to a whole different level. These yummy coppery toned fixtures, they cast such a beautiful light. Oh my gosh. And look, I don't know if you can see them in here, but the little baby fish have landed. Oh, they are so cute. Really a great showing from John and Jen. Like, just a great collaboration. They went with a classic herringbone on the floor, beautiful stone selection as a kick wall, and I like that they kept it low. You know, I think what it does is it really emphasizes the Carex story that John wanted to shine during the show this year, and then hitting it with a couple of beautiful trees, great bark texture. Really a sweet one. And you know, this is actually kind of an interesting one. Over here, he really wanted to showcase a bog of sorts. At the end of day 2, I was talking to him and he's like, I wanted it to be this muddy bog moment, but he just couldn't pull it off. And so he pivoted at the final moment. He brought in this beautiful Corten basin, which pulls into the containers in the greenhouse. By the way, I will find a source for those. A lot of you have asked. This was the move. It brought more height and more interest, and he was right to pivot at that final moment, because if he couldn't execute it to the detail, he's like, I'm not going to do it. So bravo. Next, we have the Dye Garden by the team at Lacewing. This garden is a beautiful example of blending stone, blending dimensional, blending kind of more raw, bouldery product. And they leaned heavily into a story of weaving and artistry. And I just think these arches, I saw them come in and I thought they were special. And then they did this to them. The forsythia, the pussy willows, the spirea. I mean, this is a woven tapestry. And you can just see and you can feel how much detail was put into every single element here. There is a very strong story of weaving. Oh gosh, and look at this. Please take a piece of silk, dedicate the piece to a loved one, weave your dedication into the arbor. Oh my gosh. To do something so special and meaningful, I think this actually shows exactly who the Lacewing team are. And I'm hoping to pull Britt for a little conversation later in the show because I think she is very, very fascinating. She's a very gentle soul and she thinks really deeply about gardens. This is her second year showing, and both years, last year and this year, she showcased a garden with heart and a really clear story, and also awesome plant material. Coming over here, what's really cool is she really has blended together a few cool moments, and I like that she's mixing it up. Like here, we've got browns, we've got mauves, we've got blues, and then as we go over here to the left, we get more punches of yellow. We get a little bit more like grassy textures. It's just everywhere you look, it is so cool. I almost think that, I wonder if this is more of like a shady side to her garden because we've got the Mahonia coming in. We have the hellebore coming in. And it's just, oh, you guys, it's so precious. And then here she has done a crevice style garden, expertly planted. And above it, I have already followed this woman on Instagram. She's a textile artist and she's showcasing phenomenal work. I wish you could be here in real life because this is a piece of art that you just want to touch, and it is made with all those beautiful natural dyes. And this is where I think I'm on the other side of the garden now, hustling my little buns around after dark. But this is where oh, you guys, we have the Arctostaphylus. We have another beautiful piece of art here. The weaving on this is incredible. Another crevice garden featuring one of my favorites. This is Louisia, and this is a favorite of Britt and the Lacewing teams as well. But again, gorgeous crevice style garden, gorgeous uses of color, tons of beautiful moss, an exceptional garden. I mean, honestly, the show this year is mind-blowing, and you could spend hours going through the detail of all of these gardens. Next, we have Living Lightly, Whitman Estes and Millennium Landscape and Construction. This was a very interesting garden. You know, I think this was one of the most interesting uses of hard material. They're showcasing a lot of different elements. First of all, I think it's kind of interesting that they put this little gabion wall of separation here. It kind of delineates the space, gives a little veil of secrecy. It also gives a very cool backdrop on which to stage items. This flooring is something I have not touched on before. I haven't showed this in detail. They're using the plank paver that you've seen me use before. I love this. I think it's wonderful. But then they're inserting a granite piece into it. Really interesting because it's very much stretching this out. And then as we get up into the distance, it emphasizes the lines of this beautiful kind of elevated great walkway. As we come around here, I think the star of the show for this garden is this building that they have created. Really interesting lines, you guys, really strong lines. And I think it tells a very clear story of this kind of resting relaxation space. Love an outdoor shower moment. And you know, they kept the styling here really simple. They kept it very simple. Just a towel, Nothing fancy. And I kind of love that they're on the other side of us because, as you know, your girl loves a bit of maximalism. And I leaned in hard in my greenhouse. We went French maximalism. And let me tell you, this was the restrained version. But as we come around this side, again, very simple styling, beautiful bench inside. I'm actually really enjoying this singular pot here with an asymmetrical planting of this tree. Really great use of that particular strong kind of circular shape, strong architecture within the branches. You guys, that's a great example of doing something unexpected with a container. As we come over here, I think this is almost where the lighting shows. I feel like I didn't even see most of the lighting throughout the rest of the landscape, but here it becomes a little industrial. We have the tips of plants peeking through all of the grates. Really, really a fun combination. And by the way, this is a first-time landscaper displaying at the show. So it is always amazing to see something this ambitious from a first-timer. Next up, we have the Jewel Box, a moment preserved. This is designed by Claire Liddell Hanna of Relish Gardens. And this is so fun. This actually kind of reminds me of the very first show I did where it was titled Dinner Interrupted. She has a bounty literally everywhere you look. First off, her styling is so fun. I was laughing with one of her coworkers that she was afraid she went a little too grandma. And I'm like, no, this is like the perfect amount of grandma's china. I love it. She also is known for pushing the boundaries, being very unconventional. I love her use of edibles all throughout here. And then you know what? I think it's actually kind of fun that she took all of that preserving that I showed you earlier in the week that was in all of those boxes. She turned them upside down in the landscape. Oh my gosh, look at this. She's using one of them as a tiny cloche. There's another one. Oh my gosh, her brain is just full of ideas. As we come around, she's got a couple roses through here, but she's also doing a really good job of showcasing espaliers, blueberries that are just starting to push. Again, here's our darling of the show, the Edgeworthia. This was a heavy hitter this year. Heavy, heavy hitter. In terms of this central moment, I love an arbor moment, but I do think this walkway is 100% the star of the show. This is the best use of color in her garden. You can see she has layered just apricots, peaches, this nectarine bounty, and it is completely inspired and playing off of all of these dozens and dozens of jars of canned peaches. I mean, this is a colorway that looks actually delicious. You guys, this is so fun. She's picked up every single one of these colors and brought them through from her canning into the landscape. Loving an orange ranunculus. Cannot get over that. Beautiful raspberry colored hellebore, the foliage of the blueberry. Okay, and I'm obsessed. I almost feel like I need to buy this from Claire. Look at this. Pixie. Oh my God, that's so cute. Miniature peach. And then one of my other favorite moments here is the partnership that they've done with Rainy Day Bees. This is a great local company. We have done branded honey with them, which is available in our shop online, and just wonderful, wonderful people. They actually have hives all over the Northwest and are one of these companies that really believes in the Northwest Flower and Garden Show like we do. And so they're just a fun addition to our horticultural industry. And you guys, here we are. You can see it so clearly here. The color theme from this garden literally is from the canned bounty that Claire has so lovingly preserved. Coming around here, we're finishing our little tour of this space. Oh my gosh, what is this? Nita Z miniature nectarine. Gosh, you guys, okay, I'm gonna have to talk to Claire. Claire and I are actually gonna sit down later in the week and we are gonna have a good little chit chat. We both loved our podcast that we did together so much. We're like, yes, more. We need to dedicate more time to connect and take you guys along for the conversation because she has so much wisdom to share, so much beautiful life perspective. And of course, we want to talk about plants and pretty things. So that's going to be a fun convo. Stay tuned on that. I cannot get over this title. Best title is More Smiles Per Hour. This is Redwood Builders and Bonsaico. This is Anthony. Okay, this is my buddy Tony. He was next to me the very first year I ever showcased. He was kind, he was supportive, he was a gentleman and an artist. I think this man is something special. Okay, so Tony is really known for his bonsai. In fact, Tony and I, we've already been talking about getting together and having a little chit chat, but you can see a few of his bonsai pieces here. We have one of his beautiful specimens here, and then turning around to the other side of this gorgeous little fire pit area, another one of his incredible, incredible bonsais. I love that we almost have like a river of those heathers running down there. He did go in a very different direction this year. He wanted it to be more tropical. He wanted it to be more playful. And I like just check. And he brought in his bug. Do you guys remember? I saw this under the cover and it took all of my willpower not to peel that back. Oh, I think you guys, this might be my favorite vista of his garden. You guys, Tony's a class act and he's done this for so many years. We got to look at his bubbler. We got to take a look. And you know, maybe Tony is going to be the one to teach me how to make a bubbler, because this isn't something I personally have ever done. I've had them made, but I'd kind of like to do it for myself. Oh my goodness. And here we are, darling of the show again, Edgeworthia. I'm calling it. This is shrub of the show. Really, really tropical and fun. And I love this wooden sculpture. This adds so much drama to what he has created, and it actually adds an incredible sense of movement. Next, we have the Active Family Garden. This is by Adam Gorski Landscapes. And this one, you guys, almost nothing has changed from when we originally showed it to you. But a few little amazing staging items for this fun putting green. Now, I do want to spin you around here for a quick second. Adam keeps it simple. He's got his formula. He knows what works, and he does it masterfully. Now, what I didn't realize is this sweet view. I love the two chairs there. I love the solo stove. I love that the pathway feels like it's kind of being eaten alive there. You guys, really, really good. I also am noticing that I enjoy how he is using purple. Let me zoom in on this combination here. Except for the phormium that needs more sun, but this could be a really cute little shady border. Look at this. Ferns, salal, lacothaway, hellebore, little mahonia. We've got a deep leaved azalea. Ugh, so cute. And I actually really love that he's tucking so much stone in here. Really cool. And that, ooh, that is a good pine. You guys, can you tell I'm on like a conifer bender? Okay, and of course, Brian had to get in here and test out the golf course for a half a second. Oh, okay, guys, that's your internet shot of Brian. But if you have a family who loves to be outside, I mean, this is a super chic way to have a putting green. I mean, it does not get more chic than that. And this one, again, here, look at this bubbler. Very interesting. This just shows you can think pretty darn far outside the box when it comes to creating water features as well as elevations within the landscape. Because look at this. See how he's creating that overhang there? That is drama. All it took was moving that dimensional boulder out just a hair. And this is a very classic Adam Gorski move, is getting this nice dramatic overhang. Really, really cool. Drives home the topography here. Before we jump into my own garden, Mary Hillers 5357. Guess what? You're coming to the show. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to me. I want you to email me at hello@hellogardendesign.com, and we are going to connect, and I will send you your virtual tickets for two, you and a friend or a mom or a sister or a brother, and you get to come see me at the show. And I am so excited that you get to just bask in all of this beautiful, beautiful, natural gardening goodness. Okay, so email me ASAP, and I will get you set up with your tickets. Okay, are we ready for the piece de resistance? I'm going to share with you the full garden in detail. Friends, we are here, the Garden Makers Atelier, designed by yours truly, constructed in partnership with my amazing friends at GMC Landscapes, who you guys know Elias. We all love him. We love his crew. And they're just, you guys, I can't say enough good things about that entire company. Okay, the inspiration for the Garden Makers Atelier is this greenhouse and the work of my friend Francoise Weeks, who does what she refers to as botanical couture. And what I love is that the whole concept is that a garden is not just grown on its own. They're played with, they're styled, they're reinterpreted, and also they are not always the work of the garden maker. Sometimes it's something that we can't even put our finger on. It's a beautiful dance with the natural world around us. And so with that whole concept of designing with textures, dancing with the earth, I wanted to bring in a very textured garden that was inspired by the soft pinks, an elevated dramatic pink, but also texture, because she does amazing things with pine cones. In the back, our largest features in the garden are these incredible Vanderwolf pines and a Bruns Serbian spruce. The blue cast and the white in the needle of the Vanderwolf pine really sets the stage. I've got it underpinned up there with some Iceberg Alley Salix, which again, we're going to pull this blue through the landscape. We have the Iceberg Alley, like I mentioned, it is right up there on top of the rocks. Coming down here, we have three groupings of this little Picea. This is a globe spruce called Moonstone. Over here, one of the latest additions. You guys are going to notice the Prunus mume is not here because she blew open. However, what I have instead, and it's about ready to burst into bloom, is a winter hazel. This is Coralopsis longwood chime. Now, you heard me speak before about West Seattle Nursery, their garden. Ours flowed so beautifully together because we both leaned into whites, soft yellows, but I took it a little step further. I brought in a lot of texture and a lot of leaf interest. Let's look right here. You guys, this is a Laura Petlum. It's called Plum Gorgeous. It's from my friends up at Bloom and Easy. And this new growth was not here several days ago. This has all grown in the last 2 days. They are loving their life here. I've also dotted a lot of white throughout the landscape. So I have this Daphne Adora here. This is Perfume Princess White. You're going to see on the other side, I've got a little collection of Bellis Tasso White. That's an English daisy. I've also pulled it down here in the front with Fatsia Spider's Web. This veining did something, I'm telling you, to this entire landscape. I loved it. I also wanted to hit it with a little bit of softness. And so I was able to get in this hydrangea. You guys, this is from my friends at First Editions. It is Hydrangea paniculata Spring Sizzle. Now, the big cornerstone here is this dramatic pine. I just want to get a profile shot on this. This is a pine that I fell in love with years and years and years ago, and it is called Angel Falls. So one thing you're going to notice about me in this landscape is that
evergreens I am using have names that evoke kind of this sense of play of who is actually the garden maker. So we have Angel Falls, we have Moonstone, we have Hedgehog, we have Pixie Dust. I will show them all to you, but I really wanted to get the imagination going and leave little Easter eggs for everyone. This is a beautiful slim conifer, and Angel Falls is actually named after the largest waterfall in the world, and there is something so dramatic and lovely about that selection. Coming around here, we really drove home the soft pink story, not only with the anemones here. This is Marianne Panda White. And then over here, we took it a little bit deeper with this Maddie Marble Hellebore. We've got a little bit of a rose on the backside that pulls in the Loropetalum, and then the pink, which marries it into not only my little soft anemones over there, but would you look who showed up to the party today? Okay, this is the teeniest, tiniest, yummiest little baby pink rhododendron. I know, I can't even believe it. Let me give you a hand for reference. Look how tiny that cutie is. This is called Bloombuck's Blush, and it is one of my favorite selections from Bloom and Easy, and I just knew I wanted this soft, yummy pink story. Coming down here, I have a pine. This is Pinus Fukuzumi. And look at this thing. I wanted it almost pointing like an arrow up the waterfall, or the water feature rather. We talked about this before. Elias and I were really intentional. We wanted this to be a lazy river. We wanted people to enjoy it when they were here in this moment. But when you're a garden away, you don't hear this thunderous roar of water. That is not my vibe for a water feature. I want it soft. I want it trickling. Do you see how it just trickles on down that stream? You guys, that's the vibe. That's the energy. Now over here, I can't stand it. I have to have a standard in my life. I love them. And this is a newer introduction by My Patio Trees. They took a Bloom and Easy Pearl Potion lilac and standardized it. They grafted it. And I just think there is something so cute about a little standardized lollipop outside of a greenhouse. It's just precious. Okay, now coming in here, here's another little one of these little hidden gems. This is a Cephalotaxis, and it's called Hedgehog. And I just love that we have hedgehogs in the landscape. Would you look at that as well? All of that is new growth. You guys, the mulch is so hot. All of these conifers and plants are all springing to life. Now, the other thing I've done here is I have all of this femininity, but you know I need to edge it up. I need to make it a little bit rock and roll. And so I've taken this incredible Weigela in the softest, babiest pink, and I've amplified it with black mondo grass. And then I've done a classic Kate trick. Put a little moss underneath so that as you are up here looking from below, you see the dimension of the black mondo. I also have brought in a beautiful assortment of these elegance pansies. You know, I think what I loved most about these and why I was so insistent upon using them in this garden is because they look like skirts. They look like delicate little ruffly petaled skirts. And I just think it goes with the atelier that we are creating. And then of course on this corner, I've got a kind of a fun little moment. This is an 80s, and it is a prostrata. It's a prostrate blue fir, and I am so obsessed with this. The fir is so delightfully soft, and then underneath it, I have planted, this is an Ophiopogon called Bad Hair Day, and it is just cute. It's curly. It's unexpected. You guys, I think this is going to come live in my garden. And I will show it to you when it blooms because it has an adorable flower. Moving around here, again, a lot of beautiful soft daffs, which are just opening. This is a daffodil called Spring Sunshine. And while it comes out a bit of a stronger yellow, this outer petal is going to fade to a barely there buttery yellow. And I wanted just a moment down at the bottom of this downspout to kind of collect rainwater, have a good little play. I just think it's a more creative way to harvest your rainwater. Now, I have had comments about that. That is not illegal where I am from. We have plenty of rainwater to go around. And I actually want to encourage people to get it down into their landscapes or harvest it and use it for some supplemental watering. Over here, we have the beautiful Chamaecyparis. This is snow-kissed. This was the ugly duckling that no one wanted at Big Trees, but I saw it and I took one look and I knew it was coming to the show. I just knew it had to come to the show. Again, more black mondo grass. And here is an up-close look at that Bellis white. This is the English daisy, and I just love it. Last but not least, I've decided to flank the entry on this end into the greenhouse with a Hydrangea Semanii. This is an evergreen climbing hydrangea. My mom has one that we planted in her side yard, and it is robust. That is like the softest way to put it. Beautiful, glossy leaf, gorgeous in the shade. I mean, it just does wonders. And then you guys, I didn't show you this, but HoseLink has heard my cries, my woes of the world of hoses, and they sent me a HoseLink for my garden. I am dead. You guys, I cannot even believe it. How many times have I mentioned, why haven't I bought a HoseLink for my own garden? Okay, and we're going to plug it into the water in the back so we can literally use it to water the garden during the show. I almost could cry because usually yours truly is dragging around 100-foot hoses and it is a hot mess. Oh, and one last little conifer. This is a cedar, prostrate beauty. And it is such a lovely one to cascade down a rockery, have it low growing along the ground. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And anchoring this back corner with another of my favorite Vanderwolfs. Taking you into the greenhouse at long last. First of all, we've got a doorstep over here, but I have a tiny little spruce called Pixie Dust. And I just felt like this was the perfect energy to welcome you into the true Garden Maker's Atelier. The final reveal, I went with the modern chandelier. You guys, this was the right one. Not only is it perfect here, but also I went to go buy it and it was on sale. $97. Okay, you know I love a good deal. So I gotta share. Okay, in this room, I wanted this to feel maximalist, French, time-hewn. And so one of the stars of the show really is these two chairs. And they share a very special story. These are actually my grandmother's chairs. And they were in my parents' house the entire time I was growing up. And there's something so beautiful. My mom said, she's like, oh, the fabric is really worn. And for me, this is beauty. This is beauty right here, because I remember as a child running my hands along like the directionality of the velvet and tracing my fingers all the way down all these little carvings, the roses at the top. I mean, I spent hours as a small girl looking at these chairs. And so it just only felt right that I bring them into the studio. I've decided to go for really unusual containers this year. This is very not my style, yet also my style. I don't know if that's even a thing, but I love the energy of tropicals, mixing textures. And then also the greenhouse, we decided to include a little bit of lighting in each corner to illuminate it and using sticks to enhance these columns because it plays so well into the work of Francoise Weeks. This is another beautiful standardized cherry. Again, I've got a full plant list on my website. The elevated columns are from my friend Angie. I actually have 4 of them. So I'm going to be selling some of them once I figure out where we're going to do the plant sale. And then I need to show you these as well. These were painted by my friend Rob. You guys, I don't even know quite how to describe it. I've already had someone come in and want to buy these. I love the turnips. I love them so much. I can't even stand it. They're just such a playful little take. And then, of course, right here, I've got two side tables. Sorry, I was just leaning on that one, so it's rocking. But I liked them layered. And of course, I've got all my potted up little pansies. And this is old horticultural magazines from 1971. So just pretty obsessed with that. As we come over here, we are showcasing a lot of her work. This is an incredible headpiece that she created for the show. It's actually a partial mask. So you can see where it comes down the nose right here. And then this is a hole for the eye. And she's decked it out with all of these little eyelashes. The middle of this fan is actually a deconstructed paper wasp nest. I'm still not over that. This whole entire framework is constructed from bamboo, and all of these feathery bits are the tops of miscanthus grasses. And every single time you come in to look here, you see another detail. And this is one of the things I'm talking about. She's deconstructing Raphiolepis. She's deconstructing sedums. She's not afraid to tear things apart and put them together in a way that is new and unusual and just so delightful. Of course, no garden of mine is complete without Anne of Green Gables. I mean, just the ever classic. And I found these old spools that originally I was going to wrap things around, but I love the wood. And in a bowl full of moss, it just felt so good in this beautiful market basket. Over here, you guys, my friend Maddie worked on this and created this stunning showpiece. I want to bring this back to my house. I think I'm going to actually put this in the casita. I'm obsessed with this. And also, I found this hanging shelf on the side of the road. Is that so funny? I literally had this image pinned in my mind, and all of a sudden I was driving down the road and here it is with a free sign on it. I can't get over it. You know, gotta have candles. I wanted this whole thing to feel moody and evocative and interesting. And then the piece de resistance. Do you remember when I found this solid marble planter for $65? Well, look at her all gussied up with ferns and orchids. Over here, we have another incredible piece by Françoise. She's actually going to be here on Friday if you want to meet her. And she is just a legend. She's been playing with a lot of wool roving, which I think is interesting. And then, of course, all of these are found objects that friends bring to her because they know she's just going to create something so magical with it. She actually has a mycologist friend who's been bringing her mushrooms. And I love the idea that she has cast this beautiful friendship group far and wide, and they're just repaying her with gorgeousness. Over here is another container, and what I decided to do is I actually decided to stack them. I loved the concept that you can layer a container within a container. I'm here for it. I'm into it. And then beneath each one of these corners, I wanted to build them up with moss. I wanted it to feel like all of these tropicals were simply eating the greenhouse. And then the last little bit here is my sewing corner, because this is an atelier and I just felt it appropriate to bring in a classic from my childhood. I have memories of actually sitting on this pedal and rocking back and forth. My mom still has the original Singer, but this one I picked up in Portland secondhand, and I just love it. I pulled more of this roving. This is from Northwest Wools in Portland. So good, so good. And then, of course, every atelier that deals with clothing must have a pincushion. So I made a pincushion, you guys. I know, it's crazy, but I made a pincushion. And then, oh, this is another find from my friend Angie, who's a thrifter. Le Petit Echo de la Mode. It is like an old fashion magazine. Let's see here. What year is this published? It was 40 cents, 1934. And would you look at how they are dressed? They are dressed as flowers. Man, I don't know how to read French, but I do know La Tulipe. Oh my gosh. Just so many little details throughout the garden. And then I think one of the most stunning is this floor. I cannot even tell you the hours upon hours Brian and Elias spent cutting this wood, sanding it, getting it ready from the show. And this was the old arches that I used in last year's show. And I have repurposed them and brought them into the greenhouse. And I just think it's the perfect homage to my journey as a garden maker, because ultimately, when you are a garden maker, you have your own journey and your own story. Then I just want to show you one of my favorite pieces right here. You can see the screws from where we held it together for last year's show. So here we are. This is it. This is your sneak peek. Once again, we're the last people in the convention center, but I do it because I know that there are so many people around the US and around the world who aren't going to be able to make it to the show. And it's my way of giving you a little taste of the magic that is created here. Okay, I'm going to go home and rest my voice. We are going to say a big thank you to Brian for staying up and editing. He is the man, you guys. But I will see you in the next one. And in the meantime, as always, please say hello to your garden for me.